members, so in addition to Tabata Tuesday, we actually have 2 Video Tuesday this week. The second video today is just me explaining some acronyms that I've covered in the previous exercise videos and workouts. So there's only a couple that I wanted to clarify and clear up, just explain, and so that you all can understand what I'm saying rather than just random words put together. So the first one is H.I.I.T or HIIT. This stands for high intensity interval training. To break that down, we have high intensity, which means the intensity is high, right? It's a very challenging workout. Usually this is about anywhere from 65 to probably closer to 80% of our VO2 max, which leads me to my next point, which is, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. The second half of that is actually interval training. So interval training is just that idea that you can take 2 separate lengths of time. So in the case of Tabata Tuesday, we have that 20-second and 10-second interval, right? So that's 20-second interval of work and 10-second interval of rest or active rest. That is essentially interval training. It's kind of like the square and rectangle thing. All Tabata is interval training, but not all interval training is Tabata. You can do, a 4-to-1 work ratio. I've seen people run and they do, 3 minutes of running to 1 minute of sprinting. Or you could do every 10 minutes you sprint and just jog for the other 9 minutes. I've seen that be used by beginners. The second word is VO2 max. So the VO2 max is just your maximum oxygen consumption. So when we say VO2 max, usually it's used in a clinical setting, which is why it showed up in that article regarding Dr. Tabata's research on our first Tabata workout. You will probably never see this and even less likely to use it, but it's included for those who want to learn a little bit more about exercise physiology and fitness. And in addition to that, we have CDC. We should probably be all very well known about this because it's the Center for Disease Control. This was referenced last week in a article about just physical guidelines. So the average physical guideline of the CDC that they recommend for your average adult is 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise a week. So as I said in that email, if you've been keeping up with these emails and you've been participating in these workouts, if you've been cleaning like most of us have during this extra downtime, you are crushing those guidelines, and we encourage you to keep that up. Another thing is they also have been doing 75-minute guidelines for vigorous activity. So if you're in that 65, 70, 80% VO2 max range, really, that is pretty much all you need to do for the 75 minutes a week. Now, regardless of those guidelines, they also recommend that you strength train twice a week. So again, if you've been doing these exercises, you've been strength training way more than twice a week, and you're doing a great job. So your bones, your heart, your muscles, they're all thanking you right now, as well as your immune system. So keep up the great work. Another acronym, or short abbreviation I should say, is ISO. If you see the capitals ISO anywhere, it means isometric. That's what I intended to stand for. So isometric is just when you hold a position for a certain amount of time. It's one of the 3 types of muscle contractions. So if I were to pick up a weight, you have your concentric. During this phase is the concentric phase. That is when the muscle is shortening under tension of the weight. This position right here is an isometric, which means it's not shortening or lengthening in my bicep, but there's tension on it from the weight. So this is an example of an isometric. This is the eccentric, but we'll cover that in a future video. Another example of the isometric is all of the exercises for those low intensity intervals earlier in the workout. So your 3-point plank, your chair pose, your single leg isometric, and the 4th isometric is all isometric work. You're not actually moving during that time. You're just kind of keeping the tension on the muscle and letting it be challenged in that manner by increasing your time under tension. Another acronym that you may have seen me use is AMRAP, and what that means is as many rounds as possible. So if I say, this is an AMRAP of 20 minutes, and I say, I think I used it in the exercise video where you did 10 jumping jacks, 10 push-ups, 10 squats, and then you ran up the hill. Anytime I say AMRAP is just how many times can you get through that within a given amount of time. And those are really good bookmarks. So for example, if you did that now at the, towards the beginning of the quarantine, and we did that, hopefully at the end of April or the beginning of May when hopefully the quarantine's lifted, you can see, okay, did I improve? Did I maintain? Did my time go down? Like, did I get fewer rounds in that time? And what can I be doing to correct that? So that's just a few acronyms and phrases that you've seen me use. And if you have any questions, just feel free to email me with the acronym that you're wondering about. Have a great day.